Sweet Child of Mine is like the holy grail of new guitar riffs, and so we just have to learn it. Talk about iconic. Now, something that may help demystify this riff for you is that almost the entire thing is the same. The only thing that changes is the starting note of each section. Now, with the root note changing, here's what I mean. Pretty much the entire riff does this. The only thing that changes is the starting root note of the riff. So, following this pattern, here's the first note that we put in front of that. Then we just change that starting note. Change the starting note again. And go back to the first one. So if we can get those notes down, we know pretty much the entire riff. So let's take a look at this with the first note here, the starting note. We're on the 11th fret of the 4th string. And then our primary riff here, we're going to the 14th fret of the 2nd string, 13th fret of the 3rd string, 11th fret of the 3rd string. And let's stop right there. It's a great little riff right there. Now the second half here, we're jumping to the 14th fret of the 1st string, 13th fret of the 3rd string, 13th fret of the 1st string, and back to the 13th fret of the 3rd string. So you'll notice this is just jumping back and forth and sliding that top note down by one. So, all together, starting note, now once we've played that twice, we're going to jump into our next one. So we'll play it twice. Now we're changing our starting note and everything else is the same. Instead of the 11th fret on the 4th string, we're moving to the 13th fret on the 4th string. Everything else is identical. Now again, we've played that twice, so we're changing our starting note to the 11th fret of the 3rd string. Everything else, again, identical. And then again to the beginning note. If you're following along in the tab PDF with this class, you'll notice it says to beginning. And that just means to play the first measure again at that section. We're finishing the same way as we start. So we play the first measure twice, the second measure twice, third measure twice, and put the first measure there twice again. But then remember to play it when you repeat. So, for example, playing our first root note, repeat it, change the root note, repeat it, change the root note, repeat it. Now back to the first root note, repeat it, and then we start the riff over.